Hi everyone, beautiful spring day here on our little farm in southern New South Wales, Australia. So just a little update on our homestead, I suppose. With the growth of my garden, with the longer days and the warmth and the complete lack of rain, I have to say, we have seen some of my garden is growing really well, but others, well, the pests are growing really well also. So I love the idea that a healthy ecosystem means slugs and bugs and all kinds of things, but also ours might be a little too healthy. We have got such an overabundance of snails. I've been focusing on clearing around the garden beds so that there's not as much space to hide in for them. I know they like dark places, so I have been just cutting back all the weeds that I can and removing them. But I don't have the heart to kill them. I can't just take a snail and smush it. Some of my, the people that I talk to and get advice from about organic, holistic garden management just, tell me to get over it, and I'm going to have to kill them somehow. And they're probably right. But for now, they're just being relocated. And I have to say that it's probably slugs that are annihilating some of my seedlings. Now, some of the seeds have come up well, especially the kale, that's doing okay. I've just had to sow another bed of carrots because my first bed of carrots, the tops were completely eaten. In my experience, if the tops of the carrots are disappearing and being nibbled, it's often native mice or birds. So I've got that issue, but I've just gone ahead and planted a whole bunch more. The kale seedlings I planted have been completely eaten, but the seeds that I planted are coming up pretty well. So I'm going to stick with that. Now, aside from the garden, we've got the fruit trees setting quite well. I can see there's quite a bit of fruit on them. We've got some plums, we've got some apricots, and we've got pears and an apple tree as well. So we're about in that time of the season where we've passed the blossom stage and the fruit has set. And I've just got to keep an eye on it over the next few months. And I think I am going to net my trees this season for the first time, because last year it was just too heartbreaking to have that window of ripe fruit to birds, especially parrots here in southern New South Wales, just eating all my fruit. They would eat it in a day or two. And the worst part was when they would take a bite out of a beautiful organic homegrown plum or apricot and just throw the rest away on the ground. So yes, I'm going to spend the time putting nets over those. Now, other homesteady updates. Oh, this was a happy one. This was really fun. We had one of our beautiful chickens. She's a speckled Sussex, and she was the friendliest, nicest, healthiest chook that we've got. She disappeared a few weeks ago. We knew she was okay because she would just pop her head out now and then to run off and grab some water or some food from the chicken coop, but then she'd disappear again. And we just sort of trusted the process. And it turned out that that was the right choice, because after 3 weeks, it was the kids who found her nest that she had started outside of the chicken coop. She'd hidden it in a pile of junk behind our shed. Obviously quite safely, because she had been safe there for 3 weeks. Amazing, with foxes everywhere here. But she had managed to hatch 9 babies by herself safely out there. So I just think that is amazing. And they are looking fantastic. So when we noticed that she had hatched the chicks, we gave her a window for the whole day. And then on the evening of that day, we picked her up like really quickly, gathered all the chicks into a box, and we moved it into our chicken coop so that the chicks had a chance, because we know there's so many predators around here. We've got our own cats that are barn cats. They're designed to keep down the rodent population on our property, and they would absolutely kill them, obviously. We've got foxes, we've got hawks, we've got eagles, we've got all manner of natural predators against those babies. So we have put her in our chicken coop, and I'm actually shutting the door of the inner chicken pen where we lock our girls and rooster in at night to keep them safe. I'm keeping them in there full time with the door shut for now. And I think that's probably what I will just keep doing until the chicks are big enough to be a bit a bit safer. So at the moment we've got 2 pens of chicks coming up. We've got the 3rd pen of the naturally hatched chicks, which is a total bonus. 9 free chickens. And yeah, that's going really well. So the chick incubating has a much lower success rate than the natural hen system. Of course, that's nature for you, isn't it? That the system is just designed perfectly. So other than that, Hazel is she's just beautiful, so big and healthy and shiny. Her calf is going to be a joy when it arrives, and she's a proven calver. I have no doubts that we will come out and she will have had her baby without trouble. Cream, on the other hand, being a heifer, she's never had a calf before, and she's also testing our fences big time. This is a pattern we've seen with cows we've had in the past. A heifer that is matured but hasn't had a calf yet is quite testy and wild in ways. So she's off somewhere over there. She's running with the next door neighbour's mob. Now the good thing about Cream is that she's totally tame. So yesterday when I came out to find her, I called her and she just came running, you know, from a kilometre away. She heard me and came running up to get hay. The problem is that when we got her back onto our property, our fences, we still haven't repaired them enough to keep her in. So she's gone again today. The cool thing about where we live is nobody minds. So our neighbours are great. And that's just something we have to get around to. So on the list is fence repairs, keeping chickens safe, trying to keep the garden watered enough and cut down on those pests a bit. What else is on my to-do list? Hello, darling. Is getting into the kitchen. So I wanted to come and catch up with you here. Now I'm going to go and put together a really simple flatbread recipe, and the rest of my lunch today is not cooked. So it's just the flatbread, and then I'm going to assemble a lovely big salad and use some free-range salami that I found online. And as for dinner, I'm not sure yet. Let's see what we get up to. We are rapidly working through our pantry stock up that I did. I guess it has been, what has it been, 4 or 5 months? So it's been a while since we did our honest to goodness shop. Maybe it hasn't been that long. I'd have to look back to be honest. But we've worked through our first bulk sack of spelt flour. That was 12.5 kilos. That's gone. And now I'm just going to open up this 12.5 kilo sack of stone ground whole wheat flour, which I do not prefer to the spelt. I actually thought that I ordered just plain white baker's flour, but I accidentally ordered wholemeal. That's fine, we'll use it for everything that we would have used the spelt for, so I'll use it in breads and pancakes and waffles and biscuits and just all the baking that I'm not using alternative flours like gluten-free flours like almond meal and brown rice flour and arrowroot starch, all those things. So I just use a mixture of both in my kitchen. But I guess that sack of whole wheat flour is probably going to last another 4 months or so. Now, in wanting to cut down on my supermarket reliance, I've looked around at a few different suppliers, and I definitely want to do another honest to goodness bulk shop. They really do just offer the most competitive prices for me for the store cupboard staples, the things that I want to keep to hand at all times in my pantry. Now, the thing that holds me back and does hold me ransom to the supermarkets is the need to purchase in bulk and have a large upfront payment. So in my trolley with honest to goodness right now, my online trolley, I'm looking at about $700 to $800 worth of stock. So I'm just going to need to take money out of my supermarket budget and put that aside for a little while until I can make that purchase, of course. Now, Christmas is coming. I can't say that I'm a huge Christmas celebration person. While I do enjoy it, I guess it's just the extreme nature of the season, the height of the summer solstice, extremely long days, and it's often quite hot and dry, and of course the extreme amounts of stuff that is purchased and given, and the shops go in overdrive. Mind you, I would love to completely stay out of the department stores like the Big W's and the Kmarts and all that. I'd love to just stay away from it during the silly season. It just gives me anxiety, all the, the busyness of it all. And honestly, just the push to spend, especially during this kind of season we're all collectively going through with the inflation and rising prices of everything. I think Christmas can be so stressful for all of us, but especially parents who feel this extra pressure to provide a certain magical experience for children when, I don't think the magic is really in the stuff. It's nice to get something that maybe you've really wanted all year. That can always feel really special. But definitely when I look back to my childhood, it was more the ritual of gathering with family that I might not have seen any other time of the year for some of them. That was really the most important thing, wasn't it? So maybe we really do need to take pressure off of ourselves with these expectations around the Christmas season. Now, I'm not even sure how I got onto Christmas. I was talking about budgeting, wasn't I? So the thing is, with moving away from the supermarket, I'll need to find money to purchase in bulk, which once I get into the swing of things, I can certainly do that because I won't be putting that certain amount of money into Coles and Woolies, so I can use it on other businesses. But it's going to be a transition period while I need to save up that money. So I'm still kind of towing the line in both places here. There were some products that I'm just going to continue purchasing from Coles and Woolworths fortnightly, but then there are a lot of other products that I have found online which are at least equal quality, perhaps better quality, and usually around the same price. Now, there are some blockages I've come up against because I don't get delivery here for everything. Of course, I live rurally. We are on a small farm here, so I can't expect the same kind of service that you get in the city from different companies. But there are others that are willing to post out here and do a good job. So just bear with me and I will share the finds that I have for certain businesses and companies as I purchase from them instead of from the big two. And I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to that change and that journey. One of the things that I found was this free-range salami. This is from pastured pork. Now, of course, I would love to make my own salami, but that is going to be a long skill to develop, a long time skill, a slow skill to develop, and not something that I am able to do right now. So I'm just going to slice this salami up for my family today. We're going to have some nice fresh boiled eggs, some of the salami, some sliced pickles there, and just a big salad with everything that I've got to put into it. And I've just made a fresh honey mustard dressing, and I'm going to roll out these flatbreads. Super simple, of course, just the wholemeal flour, some milk, butter, salt, and that's the whole recipe. Then we fry them up until they are puffed and golden brown. And the nice thing about this lunch is that if you don't want to eat bread, you're cutting your carbs or you're gluten-free, there's so many other delicious things that you can have that you don't feel like you're missing out at all. Do you enjoy boiled eggs? I find I'm often overlooking them as such a legitimate snack and meal option. I absolutely love them. I can just, especially cold actually, just have a whole egg cold, sprinkle some salt and pepper on top, and that's it, gone in a flash, and they're absolutely delicious. Of course, also mashing them up Australian style, I think this is Aussie style, with curry powder and mayonnaise. So classic. And Really good, of course, on some nice fresh sourdough bread, but also really good wrapped in a lettuce leaf. Something that is an enjoyable low-carb option, especially for a hot summer's day. So if you're familiar with my content, you'll know that on the last video, the shopping haul, or the last video I recorded, I talked about cutting down on going to the supermarket and trying to buy directly from producers in the first instance, and then just from Australian companies in the second instance. So I was very lucky to go to the farmers market this morning, and I'm going to take you through what I got. It's not a huge amount. It's a little sort of top-up haul because I am still feeling out when I can get to markets, when I can get to these places and buy what I need to buy. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so I'll start over with the eggs. I bought 4 dozen cartons of eggs, which will do my family certainly for the next week and possibly for the next week and a half before I have to buy more. Look at how gorgeous these eggs are. So obviously the woman who keeps these chooks has a beautiful mixed flock of heritage breed chooks. So I love that. Gorgeous. 4 dozen was $40. So works out to $10 a carton, about thereabouts. They were different prices because these are bigger, they're from a different seller. These are smaller, they were a touch cheaper. But they worked out to around $10 a dozen, which I think in this day and age is a good price for probably the best quality eggs I can access anywhere except my own backyard, and I just don't have enough right now. So I'm happy with that. Over to fruit and veggies. Okay, so this is $60 worth of produce. Some of it is direct from growers and some of it is from our local health food shop / co-op-y kind of place. Now, we got some tomatoes, a nice little 5 tomatoes, basically just to have in salads for the next 4 or 5 days. We'll have one each day. I got a lovely little bunch of bananas, still green, so that we can keep them for a few days. I've just been giving out a couple of these carrots. So they had some of the fresh spring carrots right out of the ground and then some of the more usual looking, I suppose, carrots. Okay, So we've got the 2 types of carrots there, and I've got a nice big bag of onions that will easily last, I'm going to say 2 weeks of onions, a nice big bag of mushrooms as well. Okay, so we've got this huge bag of salad greens that's going to last the family for at least several salads, several days for sure. That's just huge. We've got a little bag of curry powder, and I don't know why we got that. And then a big bag of apples. So, while I was there, you know, I didn't really have a plan of what I wanted to buy. And because I wasn't really planning, I wasn't shopping to a meal plan, I really just wanted to make sure that what I bought is stuff we are going to eat over the next several days. I already have potatoes, I have sweet potato, and I think that's about it. So these are going to be our fruits and veggies for the next days while I work out, you know, what else I need and when and how to buy it and how to fit that into our schedule. So this cost me $100 today. I know $100 just doesn't go far these days. It really just doesn't. But for me, I'm happy knowing, 1, I've got less plastic here. That's great. 2, I've put money, which was cash, straight into the pockets of local producers, which they will spend locally, and that helps our circular economy where we live. And 3, I don't know what 3 is, but I'm pretty content to have this stuff in the fridge. That's great. I'm happy. It's great. Now, I'm also going to pick up a few things from an independent shop today, and I'm just going to get milk and bread, and I'll show you what I get there later on today. Okay, so we've got another little top up here, which is going to finish off our supermarket free weekly grocery haul. So I'll take you through what else we got. So we have 2 packs, and that's about 1 kilogram of bacon. That's from the local butcher, and then we buy it at the local shop. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 loaves of sourdough that is locally baked here by a baker who runs their own business. We have another giant sack of salad greens, so we'll be eating a lot of salad this week. And then, sure, honey, come on up, you can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 2-litre milk. Okay, so we've got milk, bread, the oh so essential, not really, but very delicious bacon, and a bit more salad greens. So I'm not sure how much that was, and I've just got a little bit of chaos going on right now, but I will update and we'll see how much we spent for this supermarket free haul. So we've got our rock melon vines coming up. I've got a couple of those. My potatoes sprouted really well, but they're now wilting because I haven't covered them with soil, so that's urgent. Over here I planted some dill. There's another rogue potato plant coming up. And here is the scene of the crime with the kale seedlings. They were all just eaten overnight. And yet here are the kale seeds, which are doing so well and being ignored by the pests. Now, I really do prefer seeds over seedlings, and that is why. I'm just going to let the rest of this stuff go to seed naturally too. Now, oh, okay, yep. I've got one little tomato plant here. We planted the Tommy Toes here. I think that's actually a weed. That's a tomato plant. There's one over there. All right, so they've taken a little while to germinate, but it's hot and dry now. So they have come up well. And I'll probably chuck a few more of those seeds in. We're still harvesting asparagus every day in our asparagus bed here. And spring onion, I'm just going to let that go to seed and naturally reseed here. and carrots. Another scene of the crime. They were absolutely eaten. I have replanted here and I need to be watering that every day to keep it moist. There's the last little patch that survived whatever ate it all. That's okay, I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to keep planting the seeds. And there's our garlic. Still got a few months to go of growth. Somebody picked one out the other day and there was really not much to show off in there. This is a while to go yet. Looks like the thyme is struggling. It is hot and dry. We have not had a drop of rain for weeks, maybe a month or two. Anyway, the forecast says that should be improving over the next couple of weeks. So fingers crossed for a bit of rain. So thanks for keeping me company through this homesteady, homemaking day, getting all things home done. I really do enjoy having your company here, and I really appreciate any like or subscribe or comment, or even using the hype button if you want to support my content. Thanks again, and I will see you next time. Bye.